That number, $186,000, is what a 34-year-old named Marcus will actually spend on his truck over the next 7 years. Not what it costs, not the sticker price. What it will actually cost him every dollar, every sacrifice, every compounding consequence by the time he makes his final payment. But here's what makes this story genuinely disturbing. Marcus thinks he got a good deal. Today, I'm going to show you a financial trap so perfectly engineered that most people walk right into it, feeling proud of themselves. A system so cleverly designed that the people losing the most money are often the ones feeling the most confident. And I'm going to show you the one calculation based on actual behavioral finance research that changes how you look at every car you'll ever consider buying for the rest of your life. Here's something most financial channels will never tell you because it's uncomfortable. America has a two-tier economy now, and the dividing line isn't income. It's what you do with your car payment. Right now, as of the fourth quarter of 2025, the average new car payment in America is $767 per month, according to Experian. That's not trucks. That's not luxury sedans. That's the average. And more than 1-5 new car buyers is committing to a payment above $1,000 per month. Let that sit for a second. $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, before insurance, before fuel, before a single oil change. And according to AAA's 2025 Your Driving Costs study, the true all-in annual cost of owning and operating a new vehicle, depreciation, financing, fuel, insurance, maintenance, registration is $11,577 per year. That's $965 every single month. You know what most people's all-in monthly cost looks like? Nearly $1,000, silently, every month. But here's the part that almost nobody talks about. The problem isn't just the payment. The problem is what that payment is doing to your future and why you're wired, psychologically and financially, to never see it coming. The reason this trap is so dangerous isn't greed. It isn't stupidity. It's something far more subtle, and by the time we're done today, you'll be able to name it, see it, and avoid it. Meet Priya, 32 years old, registered nurse, earns $78,000 a year in a mid-sized city, which puts her comfortably above the median household income. Priya is good with money. She has a 401k. She avoids credit card debt. She meal preps. She's the person in her friend group who people come to for budgeting advice. And 2 years ago, Priya made what she believed was a smart, calculated decision. Her old car had 140,000 miles on it. The transmission was showing signs of wear. Rather than pour money into an aging vehicle, which she'd read was throwing money away, she went to the dealership. She did her research. She had her credit score ready. She negotiated. She compared 3 dealerships. She walked out with a 2023 SUV, $46,000, on a 7-2-month loan at 7.1% interest. Her payment, $787 per month. That's less than my rent, she told her sister. And it's brand new. It's reliable. It makes sense. Here's what Priya didn't calculate that day. She didn't calculate that her car would lose roughly $8,000 in value in its first 12 months. Not because anything went wrong, simply because it was no longer new. She didn't calculate that her full coverage insurance on a newer, higher value vehicle would run $210 per month, up from $90 on her old car. She didn't calculate what her $787 payment plus insurance, plus fuel, plus maintenance would mean she'd never invest in her Roth IRA. And she absolutely didn't calculate what was quietly happening inside the loan structure itself. In month 1 of Priya's 7-2-month loan, $272 of her $787 payment went to interest, not the car, interest. By month 12, she owed almost exactly what she owed on day 1 because early loan payments are almost entirely interest. Priya is smart. She is careful. She is doing everything she was told to do. She is also, without knowing it, caught in a trap designed specifically for people like her. Let me introduce you to the 2 forces that are working against Priya and against most car buyers simultaneously. The first force is depreciation. According to AAA, the average new vehicle loses $4,334 in value every year. But it's not linear. In year one, most cars lose between 15 and 20% of their value. That $46,000 SUV Priya bought worth roughly $38,000 12 months later, before she's made a single repair, before a single scratch. The second force is loan structure. This is where the real trap hides and where the auto industry has gotten extraordinarily creative. The average new car loan term is now 68.9 months, according to Experian, nearly 6 years. And 8 4-month loans, that's 7 years now, make up over 21% of all new auto loans. Why does this matter? Because the longer the term, the slower the principal drops. In the early years of a long loan, you're paying almost entirely interest, which means your loan balance drops very slowly while the car's value drops very fast. Right now, 29.3% of all trade-ins toward new car purchases have negative equity, meaning the owner owes more on the loan than the vehicle is worth. And the average amount underwater, $7,214, an all-time record, according to Edmunds. Nearly 1 in 3 of those underwater owners carry over $10,000 in negative debt into their next vehicle purchase. Think about what that means in practice. You're 2 years into your car, you're underwater by $6,000. You want something different. The salesperson says, no problem. We'll just roll that into the new loan. And just like that, you start the cycle again. Now you're upside down before you drive off the lot. Here's a psychological piece that most financial creators completely ignore. In 2017, researchers published a study in the Journal of Economic Psychology examining what happens to people's happiness after they buy a car. They found something remarkable. There's a significant and measurable decrease in satisfaction within the first few years after purchase. Not because the car breaks down, not because it's defective, because of something called hedonic adaptation. Your brain adjusts. What felt exciting and new in month 1 is just your car in month 14. The thrill fades, but the payment doesn't. And here's where it gets really dangerous. Because once the excitement fades, you become psychologically vulnerable to wanting the next thing, the newer model, the upgrade, the trade-in. The industry knows this. The entire trade cycle, buy, depreciate, go underwater, roll over, buy again, is not an accident. It's a business model built on your brain's neurochemistry. Here is the calculation almost nobody runs. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's go back to Priya. Over 72 months, Priya will pay $56,664 in loan payments on her $46,000 SUV. Add insurance. $210 per month times 72 months equals $15,120. Add AAA's estimated fuel and maintenance costs conservatively $300 month for a 6-year period. That's another $21,600. Total spent $93,384. At the end of 72 months, Priya will own a 6-year-old SUV worth approximately $12,000 to $15,000. So she will have paid roughly $93,000 to own an asset worth $13,000. That's not a car payment. That's a wealth transfer from her pocket to the dealer, the lender, the insurer, and the fuel company. But here's the number that rewired how I think about transportation entirely. What if Priya had kept her old car, which, yes, needed maintenance, maybe $2,000 in repairs, and instead invested just $500 per month of that $787 payment into a simple index fund? At a historical average return of 8% annually over 6 years, that $500 a month becomes approximately $45,500. She doesn't need to go without a car. She just needs a different relationship with the concept of what a car is worth spending. And here's the insight that behavioral finance research validates, and that the Millionaire Next Door, a landmark study of over 1,000 millionaires, documented clearly 61% of wealthy people, those who could afford any car, drive Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords. According to Experian research cited by Ramsey Solutions, actual high net worth households are not driving what you think. Only 23.5% of millionaires own a vehicle from the current model year. Over half drive cars older than 2 years. The people who look richest on the road are often, statistically, the ones building the least wealth. The car isn't a status symbol. For most buyers in America today, it's a $7,214 anchor dragging them backward. The real flex, and I mean this seriously, is the brokerage account statement nobody posts on Instagram, okay? You've seen the problem, you've seen the psychology, you've seen the math. Here's what to actually do at 3 different levels depending on where you are right now. Step 1, the immediate win, easy, do this week. Run your own true cost calculation before your next car purchase. Go to AAA's vehicle cost calculator or use a simple spreadsheet. Add up loan payments over the full term, plus insurance times months, plus fuel, plus estimated maintenance. Divide by the number of months. Most people who do this for the first time genuinely cannot believe the number they see. This single step will change how you negotiate, what term you choose, and whether you buy at all before you ever sit down with a salesperson. Step 2, the medium-term move, intermediate, next purchase. Apply the 15110 rule at your next vehicle purchase. Spend no more than 15% of your gross annual income on a vehicle. Put down at least 1 month of your take-home pay. Choose the shortest loan term you can manage, ideally 48 months or less. This single framework alone would eliminate the majority of underwater loan situations in America. If a vehicle doesn't fit a rule, you're not buying a car, you're buying a liability dressed as transportation. Step 3, the wealth building play, advanced long game. Redirect the difference. If you downgrade your vehicle, even from a $787 month payment to a $400 month used car, you've freed up $387 per month. Over 10 years, at 8% average return, that $387 2-month invested is worth approximately $70,000. Over 20 years, it becomes approximately $224,000. That's not a sacrifice. That's an exchange rate. You traded a depreciating steel box for a compounding asset. Priya, from our story, she ran this calculation. She kept her SUV, but refinanced to a 4-8-month term, cut her insurance by raising her deductible, and started investing $300 a month into a Roth IRA. In 15 years, that decision will be worth more than her entire vehicle ever was. Priya's story doesn't end at the dealership. Yours doesn't have to either. If this video changed how you see your car payment, share it with someone you know who's about to sign on a new vehicle. It might be the most valuable thing you do for them this year. If you want more of this behavioral finance, the psychology of wealth, the decisions that look small but compound into everything, hit subscribe. This channel exists for exactly that. Next video, we're looking at the one bill most people never audit, even though it quietly takes more money than their car payment. Hint, most people have paid it for years without knowing the actual number. And one more thing, I want to know, what was your first reaction when you saw that $186,000 number at the start of this video? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.